Hello Medfield people, and I hope you're ready to watch the newest edition of Happenings in Medfield. And these happenings, I think you will know when you look at the person to my left. Roberta Lynch is here from the center at Medfield. She's an employee of the Council on Aging, and she does one heck of a job, believe me. So Roberta, you can tell us what's going on today and this month?
Sure. So here we are in February, and wow, time flies, huh?
It totally does.
It's going
like
by
snow.
so fast, right. So Valentine's Day, of course, is what we celebrate in February, and on Valentine's Day we're having a chocolate tasting. It starts at 1 o'clock, and having a whole variety of chocolate treats, and so people can enjoy. If you like chocolate, this is the place to go, because we have different types of cakes and pies and candies and cookies and a chocolate fountain to boot. So that'll be a fun afternoon.
Wow, I'd be a skinny woman if it weren't for chocolate. That is my passion.
Oh well,
Absolute.
I hope you're going to be there, because you know it'll be fun.
It sounds like fun.
Just something different to spice up the day. So that's Tuesday the 14th, which is next week. Yeah. So, and let's see, we have a lot of, we have a new, one thing that's really taken off at the center this fall and into the winter is our art program with Barbara Mulford. She's really, people just love her instruction. She's taking anyone, if you have experience, no experience. The women are coming out with fabulous pictures. In fact, in the newsletter, I have the group in October, and they're all standing there with their pictures that they painted, and they're just fabulous. So that's ongoing. She has the 4 weeks in February that she's doing, and then I'm sure she'll start up again in March, because people are really enjoying her instruction.
Does she live here in Medfield?
No, she doesn't, and I don't recall on her invoice where she is from. But
I was just curious.
We had Barbara McAuliffe before, and then Barbara got too busy with another project she was working on and had to leave, and referred Barbara Mulford to us. So it's just worked out great.
Great.
Yeah, it's nice to have that at the center. You know, we did have a period of time where we didn't have the art classes, and I think people miss them, so I'm glad to have them back. You know, we have another great program that's happening currently, and that's Minds in Motions, and that's with Jerry Sansolo. He's a Medfield resident, and he started this probably like 3.5 years ago. He started coming and volunteering in our club program twice a day, and we called it cognitive stimulation therapy, which is actually a name of an activity for people with dementia, and he was great with the club program. He'd come every Tuesday and Thursday for almost 2 years and volunteer his time. So when you think of volunteers who deserve credit, Jerry is certainly one that does. But then after conversations with him, and he decided, and I encouraged him to bring this program to independent people, you know, who participate at the centers, our center, and now he's taken it off and he's in surrounding towns. He provides the class Minds in Motion, and we have that currently running right now Wednesdays at 1:30, and it's an 8-week course. And really what it is, it's a very interactive program, and each week when he comes in Wednesdays, Jerry, what are you talking about today? I'm not telling. I'm not telling. So he doesn't give up what his topic is. But when you see the 15 people go in, they're all excited, and then you see them come out after the hour class. they're all like, talking to one another, and they're smiling, and I don't know what he does in there. He works magic. He makes people think. He makes people exchange ideas. He makes people, talk about things that they might not talk about.
Like what kind of topics would he bring up?
Oh my goodness.
Haircuts, presidents?
Everything. I mean, he did 3D printers one week.
Oh, that's fun.
He does art in a very interesting way. He does music. He does sports. He did tattoos, a class on tattoos, philosophy. It's just amazing. His topics range the whole spectrum of life. So with that said, in March, and I have to peek here because March 8th, he's starting another class in Medfield. And we have a lot of people that are like him so much they want to take the class after class after class. So this is a class for only people who have never participated before, to give, try to encourage other people into his program. And I think we have a pretty good sign up. Last week when he came in, he said, "I don't know, Roberta, we're not going to make 15. Now, mind you, last week was just the very beginning of February, and he's like, only 11 people on the list. I said, Jerry, don't worry about it. You'll have your 15 people. So that's really a great class.
Sounds great. It really does.
Yeah, it makes people think. They come out and like you just see that their brain has been working. Their eyes are wide and their smiles are bright, and it's pretty terrific. We did have. Monday, and I'm talking about the past, on February 6th, we had Gary Highlander at the center, and we had a very large crowd, about 40 people came to listen to his talk. He's a professor from Stonehill, and he actually does, I call the senior circuit in terms of presentations and lectures, and he spoke on the inaugural, and people absolutely loved Monday afternoon's talk. And he is coming back again in March and in April. It's to be determined what those topics will be on, but it's funny, like Jerry has his following with Minds in Motion, and Gary Highlander has his following, and people, if they find out he's speaking somewhere, people will go and listen. Wow. So that was a very well-received program on Monday, and it's again, will be on Monday. I think the time is different, actually. I think it's in the morning, March 6th, in the morning, but that'll be in the newsletter. And then we have, well, how appropriate to talk about this today, where we woke up and we had our streets like an ice rink. But we are in February, our breakfast on February 23rd, we are going to talk about fall prevention. And we had this great presentation a couple years ago from Phillips Lifeline on falls prevention. And they actually used, and maybe you were there for that, they used these building blocks, all the things that contribute to falling. And they build this tower of these blocks, and they each stand for one of those, I'm going to say items or things, medication, changes in your gait, loss of vision, all of those things that can contribute to falls. And so they build this tower of these blocks, and when you add one and another and another and another, and then the tower falls over and the person falls. So we do have a talk on that through Phillips Lifeline, and the Walpole VNA nurse, Deb Burnaby, will be there also to supplement the talk. So that'll be good. So breakfast, I think we're doing a French toast, and we have a great volunteer staff who cooks our breakfast. We have our town administrator, Mike Sullivan. We have usually our building inspector, John Naff. We have Mike LaFrancesca from the school department. We have Tony Santori, his wife Gwen, Al Allegretto and his wife Rita, and Tom Sweeney. And so those 8 people come together every month to cook breakfast, and it's really a fun morning, and we try to provide a topic that is important and interesting to people who are there. So the 23rd at 8:30 we'll be serving our French toast, bacon and sausage and fruit and coffee.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. And just so you know that our monthly breakfast, we in the past have had a suggested donation of $3 for breakfast, but for the remainder of this year, which is actually the whole year, breakfast is on the COA.
Really?
Yes. So definitely, if you want to come in and give it a shot.
That's an even better deal.
It's not going to cost you anything, and it is, you know, it was between the COA and Fosse. People were so generous with the Fosse challenge. Obviously, you know, we made that challenge, and so we thought it would be a nice way to give back to the COA community for their support, and just offer this great monthly breakfast for people. So, so yeah, the next breakfast is February 23rd.
And who's the speaker for that one?
And so 2 speakers. We have, the name's a little tricky for me, Lamia Bahalalel, I apologize for that, from Phillips Lifeline, and Deborah Burnaby from the Walpole V&A.
Okay.
Yeah. So together they're going to give this talk on fall prevention, which, you know, it's kind of important. We haven't had a fall prevention talk for a while, and sometimes, you know, people get a little lackadaisical about, you know, the precautions they need to take, so it's always important to remind people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about about some of the trips that. I want to go back to something. We had February 2nd was Groundhog Day, of course, but it was also National Wetlands Day, and we had Leslie Willett, a conservation agent, come and give a presentation about wetlands. We had probably 11 people there, 12 people. It was fabulous. I want to say thank you to her for coming in and presenting on wetlands, the importance of wetlands, what they are, how do you find them. I learned so much that it was great. So to Leslie, I say thank you very much. And I think I think having had her come in, I think there's opportunities to have more of the town employees like that and positions like that to come in and give a presentation about what they do. So I'll probably hitting some other people up to come in and do a talk just like Leslie did.
She does a very good job.
Oh my God, it was phenomenal. It was. I even was at my daughter's house this past weekend, and I saw this. Her house sits up high, and then there's this lower area, and I saw this kind of like puddle, and I'm like, oh, wetlands. That must be a what is it called? A vernal pool. Vernal pool. Well, anyhow, so we are looking for someone. We had Jim and Janice Cannon take care of our herb garden last year, and they're also responsible for our library at the center, and they do a phenomenal job. The library is just gorgeous, but they do need to give up the care of the herb garden. So we are looking for somebody to who wants to, maybe doesn't have like a raised garden in their yard. We do for the herb garden, and maybe they'd want to come in and be responsible for that and help cultivate those herbs so that we can harvest them and let people have some fresh herbs to cook with. So if anyone's interested in that, come on into the center and see me, because we'd like to keep that going. It's really it was really beautiful last summer. They did such a great job. So we're looking to continue that.
Okay.
So just an idea of what we do. Once a month, we have a supper club, which you participate in
usually.
Sometimes. Yeah. And tonight we are doing a pizza and a jigsaw puzzle tournament. So that all starts at 5 for supper, and then the puzzle tournament will follow. And so we have 5 of the same puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, 100 piece, and we're going to give our teams of 2, 5 teams of 2, 30 minutes to get that puzzle together, and then we have prizes for the winner.
Since I am legally blind, I will not be entering that contest.
But you can root them on.
Yes, I can.
Absolutely. So that's fun. So we have things like that. And in March, we are going to have March 15th, we're having our corned beef and cabbage dinner on that Wednesday. So that'll be good. So lots of good things planned ahead. We have some trips planned, and I'm going to just mention them briefly. They're all listed in the newsletter. So Tuesday, March 23rd, we're going to the flower show and then having lunch at, I think, one of the best restaurants in Boston is Maggiano's.
I love it.
It's great. Yep. So that's the 23rd, and that trip is $84. Wednesday, April 19th, we have tickets to the 7:30 p.m. show of The King and I at the Boston Opera House. Those tickets are $129, transportation and ticket. They're a little high, and that is because I wanted orchestra seating. Some people don't go to the theater often, and I think when you do go, you have to have good seats. If you're going to go once in a while, you get the good seats. So that is open to anyone in the community. If you're interested in going, bus is leaving the center at 6 o'clock, so just come in, sign up, pay, and we'll have a great time going to see The King and I. Classic. Tuesday, June 20th, we have a trip going into Boston to see the Tall Ships.
Oh, that's a great trip.
That will be good, yep. And actually, we have quite a few people signed up for that already, so if you're interested, please come in. That trip is $79. And Block Island, this is one of the older newsletters, that is scheduled for Thursday, July 20th, I think. At the time of the printing of the newsletter, it was to be decided. There was a change in the schedule for the ferry. And that's $109 per person. That's a great trip going to Block Island.
It is fun.
Block Island's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We do have another overnight trip, August 9th to the 11th. Montreal is celebrating their 375th anniversary, and so we have a 2-night trip going to Montreal Monday, August 9th to the 11th, correct. Flyers are available for that, so if you want to come in and get that information. And then, not the last trip scheduled, but the last trip that I have listed in the newsletter is Thursday, September 14th. We're going to the Red Sox game. It's an afternoon game. They're playing the Athletics, and cost of ticket transportation is $89 per person. So that would be an easy way if you wanted to go to Fenway one more time.
Sure.
We'll get there an hour and a half early so we can see the warm-ups. And Fenway, probably for some people who haven't been there for a while, it's changed quite a bit. So it'd be a great opportunity to get in there. So lots going on.
Yeah, Montreal is beautiful. We went up, there's a busload that came up. My husband's jogging group had several members who were running in the marathon in Montreal.
Yes.
So they chartered a bus, and we all went up for the weekend, and it was a dynamite thing. I hadn't been to Montreal before.
Yeah.
So it was a great city to explore. We really had a good time there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice trip. I hope it takes off. Of course, all these trips are based on a minimum number of people. The paperwork says 40, but usually Mr. Fox, we use Fox Tours, he usually will work with me, and 30, 35 might be able to, will be able to make it, so that'll be good. And just I want to mention one thing, that we do have a shredder container for people to, if they need to dispose of important papers. But I do want to say that District Attorney Michael Morrissey's office will be coming on Monday, March 20th from 12:30 to 3:30 with one of those big shredding vehicles.
Oh, okay.
So if you think you have a large amount of shredding to do, that would be the great time. Start planning now, putting your papers in bags or whatever. That would be a great time to shred your papers. If you have a lot. I mean, our container fills up quite quickly, and every time that we change it out, it does cost the COA $60. Not a lot. That's why we do ask for some donations, so that just kind of help with the cost of the container. But it's very convenient. You pull up, put your stuff in the container, and off you go at the center. But the big stuff, please hold off until March 20th when that shredding truck is there. Would be very good. And then they're also on that particular day also going to give a presentation on some things that are so important that go along with shredding your paperwork as identity theft and fraud. So that will be in the March newsletter.
I think it's something all of us worry about.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. You know, it's very unsettling when you find out that somebody somehow accessed your credit card and they're charging up a storm.
Or even your computer. Today I got 2 crazy emails, quote unquote, from friends.
Oh, yes.
And I clicked on it. There was nothing that those friends would ever have sent.
Right.
So I sent them one I called.
Yeah.
And said, you better check
your
change your password.
Yeah.
Because it seems to happen, I wouldn't say frequently, but it's not uncommon.
Right. Yeah, kind of scary. It's a little scary.
The one other ongoing thing you have, which is why I wore this shirt today.
I know.
You have the knitting group on Wednesdays.
We have the knitting group. I know, and I don't know if you remember, but I put a little piece. You wouldn't see it, but I have a little piece in February's newsletter about the Fit to Knit class, the 2 o'clock class, the knitting group, and you had a big group last week.
Judy Larantos can do anything. If you give her 2 sticks and a piece of something,
right,
she'll knit up a garment for you.
Well, I think that goes for you too.
Well,
I've seen you.
Judy is dynamite, but she'll teach a beginning knit. If you've never knit before, come on ahead. Yeah. If you're an expert knitter, one time I was making a prayer shawl at home, and I had 200 and some stitches on the needle. I put it down on my chair, went up to the bathroom. When I came back, I sat on it, and I pulled half the stitches off, and I thought, oh, I can get them back on. Well, between my eyes. So I tried, and I did some more knitting. I really fouled it up. So I brought it in. I waited till Wednesday. I brought it in. Judy fixed it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, she's great.
I mean, she was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have stupid topics we talk about. Once in a while it's politics, but it's about, we did bathroom etiquette one time. We had, how do you place your chairs in the dining room? Which is the head of the table? Which is the foot of the table? Yeah. I mean, silly questions about, and we talk about all kinds of things.
Right.
And it's a great group. You never know what the heck we're going to talk about the next time.
Yeah, it's a social group.
And a couple of guys join us. Often a couple of men, which is kind of fun too, I think.
They're not knitting though. I never see knitting needles in their
hands. We used to have a guy years ago that came
really?
that knit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he knit that much. When my husband was in the Army years ago, they had to learn to knit in case they were wounded in a war and were stuck in a bed. They wanted to make sure there was something they could do with their hands to occupy them. It's very logical. But that's all my husband learned was go boom, boom, boom. And so he
What's that stitch called?
Knit and purl.
Knit and purl. Yeah, that's about all I can do is knit and purl. I tried to make a scarf once, but that didn't work. So.
But there are lots of groups like that up there that are fun.
Oh yeah. So anyone, if you're interested in knitting, learn to knit or just come in and be part of the conversation.
Yep, that's exactly what some of the men do. They just come join us. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And the poker group is fun.
Yes.
We're playing bridge in the next room, and we can hear them laughing. I love it.
The poker group.
There's nothing better in this world than to hear a bunch of people laughing.
Yeah. Poker's Thursdays at 1 o'clock, and they're pretty dedicated, that group, and they are looking for new people to join their group.
And they are fun.
We have 2 poker tables in the card room, so usually they're around 1, but there have been times where they've been using both tables, so I know they'd like to kind of fill it up and get a few more people in there. So if you like to play poker, come along.
And you have a new cribbage program?
Yeah, we do have cribbage. Cribbage starting to grow, which is wonderful.
It is good.
Yeah, so we have Mondays, we have cribbage. Wednesdays, we have cribbage. And I don't think they do it on, I saw something, canasta. I saw some papers
I used to love canasta.
Canasta, so somebody must be trying to start canasta. So I have to find out who had those papers at the reception area because, talking about something like that, we are having a Mahjong class in March. It's like an introductory class, and I apologize because I see the Mahjong on my calendar, but I can't. I think it's the 23rd. It's a Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, March 23rd. I don't know if that's it, but anyhow, it's going to be from 3:30 to 5. 3:30 to 5. The instructor's going to come in, and if there's enough people that are interested in learning, we'll continue with lessons,
Who's teaching it?
That's on the calendar too, Ann.
Okay, I'm sorry. The only one I knew that used to teach it was Jean Hubbard.
Yes,
and she now lives down in...
no, it's not Jean. Actually, a Medfield resident, Mary Daly, emailed me and said would you be interested in starting a Mahjong group? And I'll start anything. And I'm like, absolutely, but I don't have an instructor. Well, I know of one. Let me contact her. And the instructor's first name is Mara. And so she sent me Mara's email. I connected with Mara, and we set up this introductory class. And if she needs a minimum of 4 people, so if we can do it, then we're going to be good to go.
I think it's good.
That, yeah. So, but I still have to find out who wants to start canasta.
I'm trying to remember how to play it. It was back when I was in high school.
I know, but I bet you something like that comes right back.
It might. Hearts was my favorite card game when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember playing Hearts.
I certainly went through I Doubt It and Go Fish. I mean, they were the beginning ones. But canasta was, and Russian Bank was another one. But,
no, never heard that.
But Hearts was my family's favorite. In fact, when my grandkids come, we always play Hearts. That's the big family game.
Yeah. Well, we have the ladies on Mondays and Fridays. They come in and play a card game called Hand and Foot. Mm-hmm. Do you know that one?
I've seen it. I filled in once, but it was. I like some of the others more. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know. They're pretty.
They love it.
Yeah, dedicated to their hand and foot game. But yeah, so I don't know. There's just so much going on, and it's nice to see new people coming into the building, which is great. And you know, it takes people. Takes people a little while to come in and you know, they think about it because they think that, well, I'm really not that old, I'm not going to go down to the senior center. But once people come in and they try a class and try something else and then try something else, and somebody's who's only been participating for probably a couple of months, and you know, his name's John, and he was like, wow, talking about Gary Highlander's lecture, that was fabulous. When's he coming back? You know, so you just have to kind of like put your big toe in the water and then realize it's really okay, and then you come in and, you know, you want to start something, we can do it. As long as we have the room and the space, we'll make room, you know. You
know who might be good to come into a supper club after his term is up is Mark Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
He's not running again for selectman.
Right.
He was in my daughter's class in high school, graduate Medfield High School. He's also an 11th generation in Medfield.
Yeah.
His mother was a clerk. Every generation they have lived here in Medfield. And I said to Mark, what did they do for work back in those days? He's assuming they were farmers. He's found a lot of information from them in Vine Lake Cemetery. He knows where some of the houses were. But he's been 9 years on the Board of Selectmen, and I think maybe at a supper club, because he works outside of Boston, maybe he would come for a supper club.
Yes,
I think that would be good.
That is a great suggestion, and I always appreciate it.
He'll kill me for it, though.
Well, maybe not.
His mother will come.
But I always appreciated him because I don't like to talk in front of people, you know, especially if I have to stand at that podium. But he always made me feel so comfortable, you know, just non-threatening, and he had a great way about him. So yeah, I'll miss that. But
he's been a very good selectman, I think, very down to earth. Yes. I don't mean I served with him for years.
Right.
And I'm sure we had times we disagreed. Isn't that disagreement's healthy? But it was always pleasant disagreement if we did. Right. And but he's always very basic, down to the basics.
Yeah.
He's never trying to plug himself and make himself look like a big hero.
Nice man.
I think so too.
Talking about, you bring about he's not running again for his position. So we are working, the Friends group and the Council on Aging are working together, and it's just in the beginning stages. And I heard you talking with the DD about interviewing the candidates for selectmen. But we have a tentative date, which we have to get out and see if the candidates would be interested, all candidates that are running for a position in Medfield, at the center on March 8th from 5 to 7, having an open house for the candidates to be there. And people just to come in and say hello and talk to them one-on-one.
All of them, that's good.
All of them. Nothing, no debate, no speech.
That's a good idea.
Just to be there and let it be casual, non-threatening, and just you know, see what people have to say. So that's in the works for March 8th from 5 to 7.
I have to remember to write that down.
Yeah, I'll remind you.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Wednesday.
It's
a Wednesday evening.
Wednesdays, okay.
Yeah. Well, you'll be there for knitting anyhow, so just
just stay.
Just stay. Well, that's right. So I don't know. I think we've covered a lot.
I think we have too.
You know, hope to see new people come in, and your
staff is still terrific.
Staff is great.
They really are good.
They're great.
Every single one.
Yep, it's all good there. So we're there to help people as they continue in their aging process and journey. So hopefully the Council on Aging makes it a little better.
And I told you on the way here how much people enjoyed listening to Bill, the bus driver.
Yep.
Some people had no idea.
Transportation coordinator.
We all call him Bill the bus driver. He doesn't even have a last name. He's Bill the bus driver.
Bill the bus driver.
Remember when my friend Eileen Alley was in the nursing home?
Sure.
And I called her every day, and then one time she actually called me, and she said, "Ann, you won't believe it, Bill the bus driver called me." I mean, she was in ecstasy.
Yes.
He's that kind of a guy.
Yeah, he's great.
And your staff is like that. They're very down to earth, very friendly, very warm.
Yep, yep.
So good job for all of you and for the Council on Aging for hiring all of you.
Yep.
And you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So far you do a good job. Let's hope you keep it up.
Yeah, I hope so. Yep.
So anything else to add this month?
No, not a thing. Just come on down and see what we're all about.
Okay, well, thank you, Roberta.
You're very welcome.
Very good, and thank you all of you at Medfield for listening and watching. I hope you learned a lot about the Council on Aging, a lot about the center, which we tend to call the Senior Center, but it's really the center. And there's so many activities and so much going on. The phone number is 3665. You can call anytime, and you can talk to somebody there at the desk. So thank you for watching Medfield TV.
Medfield TV, community shows.